catalog using the search bar above. Each Firki course is designed using the Ttz model that stands for Feel, Imagine, Do, and Share. The Feel section of the course helps you identify your current practices. The Imagine section defines the practices that one should follow to improve teaching and learning outcomes. A detailed description of strategies are highlighted under the Do section that one can implement in the classroom and with their students. At last, the Share section talks about ways in which one can share their learnings with each other. Each course has also a set of reflection questions as part of the assessment section. Along with the course material, each Firki course also contains a learning circle plan and journal pages. A learning circle plan helps the coaches and mentors conducting the offline learning circles to discuss and share learnings from the course. A journal page summarizes the course with important points. We are adding new courses every month, so keep watching this space. Next up, we have the webinars page that is also accessible from the top left of the screen. On this page, you will find information about the upcoming webinars. If you scroll down, you will find a bunch of resources from our older webinars. These resources will include video recordings of the webinar itself, notes from the webinar, the presentation used by our speaker, and other resources on the topic covered. Do feel free to browse this section at your leisure. The final page to look out for is the resources page, also to be found at the top left corner of your screen. This page houses and will house resources from several of our partner organizations such as the British Council, Khan Academy, Storyweaver, Pratham Books, and more. We are in the process of adding to the list, and you can easily filter resources by partners, grades or standard, and the subject of instruction. We hope you find value in using these resources in your practice as teachers and educators. Finally, you can find the Firki app on the Play Store and can access these courses, resources, and webinars through your phone. So download our app and stay connected to teaching and learning on the go.
Thank you, Valamis, for that video. Hello, dear teachers. Good evening and welcome to this webinar. Right now, we have the pre-webinar presentation. We'll start the webinar exactly at 4 o'clock. Before we just start, we wanted to take you through some features on Zoom and just to get you understood about some of the norms that we can have for this session. Learning and exposure for teachers and educators have been the inspiration behind all the Firki webinars. And we at Firki attempt to bring relevant and innovative work at your doorstep. So to go through the different webinars or the learning paths that we have conducted till now, you can go through the Firki's webinar page. The link for the same will be pasted on the chat box very soon. We also understand that the time of the teachers are very, very valuable. To this end, we will be providing our participants with a certificate of attendance. This is made available to all the participants who attend the entire session. And at the end, we will send you a feedback form on the chat. Once you fill the feedback form, you will get this certificate automatically in your inbox, in which the email ID you have registered. So look out for the feedback form and please requesting you to fill the feedback form at the end. You can join this webinar using 2 platforms. One is a Zoom calls. The other one is a YouTube live. The link for the same also will be posted on the chat box here. We'll now take you through some features on Zoom and YouTube so that you can engage effectively with the session. The first one is a mic button. We request all teachers here to keep your mic off so that we can hear the speaker very clearly without any disturbance. If you want to share something, definitely unmute and share. Also, there is a video button next to the mic button. Requesting all of you to keep your video also off. This is to ensure that there is minimum stress on the bandwidth and we can hear and see the speaker very clearly. The most useful feature for us is going to be the chat box. Ensure that you use the chat box to its like maximum limit. You can use that to type in your questions, ask any doubts that you have, share your opinions. Maybe someone is asking a question, you have the answer. You can definitely answer that in the chat box. So, and please make sure that you make maximum use of the chat box. If you are joining us through the YouTube live, there is a comment section. There you can type in your questions or doubts. For both YouTube comments and Zoom chat, I'll be curating the questions that you will be typing in the chat box. At the end, we have some space for question and answer. I'll be asking all those questions to our speakers. So in between, if you feel like you have any question, please ensure that you type that in the chat box. Also, this webinar again is happening in online. You might have attended a lot of webinars, but to ensure that we're making maximum use of this time, please make sure that you talk to your colleagues or the people who have attended this webinar after this to discuss maybe what did you learn, what are some doubts that you still have. You can also watch the recording of this webinar later on the Firki page. You can also attend next webinar. Once you sign up on firki.co, you will get updates about the following webinars. With that, I'm going to welcome everyone here to Firki's webinar on Ttz, innovative tool for online assessment, designed in partnership with Ttz. I'm Ellie and I work as a senior manager with the Firki team. I'll help you navigate through the webinar today. So today I'm going to introduce our speaker. We have Siddharth here. He's a computer science engineer. He is a keen observer of what goes around him and tries to make things better than before. He's a co-founder of Ttz, and today he will introduce us with all the features of the Ttz app and how it can support teachers with the new reality of virtual teaching and learning. That brings us to the norms of today's webinar. As I mentioned in the beginning itself, considering the large audience that we have, ensure your mic is off if you're not sharing anything. Also ensure your video is off to ensure minimum stress on the bandwidth. Use a pen and paper so that maybe you can take notes if you want to discuss later. You can type your questions in the chat box, both Zoom chat and the YouTube comment box. I'll be curating those questions and we'll be asking those at the end. This webinar will be recorded and will be available on YouTube and the Firki website very soon. So that brings me to the end of my introduction. Before we go ahead to the webinar at hand today, we're going to start with a quick opening activity. This is one of my favorite parts of the webinar. What we are going to do is when I say go, all of you can switch on your mic and say hello in your mother tongue. So this can be namaste, vanakkam, namaskaram, anything. So when I say go, say hello in your mother tongue. After that, my teammate here will keep you all on mute. Okay. So ready, 1, 2, 3, go.
Namaste.
Hello, ma'am.
Perfect. Thank you so much, everyone. Always we hear different kinds of voices, different kinds of languages, different kinds of words. This shows the diversity that we have in this group. Very, very happy to have you, all of you here. I really hope this is going to be a very productive and efficient evening for all of you. So then now I transfer it over to our speaker. Siddharth, over to you.
Yes, hi. Thank you, Elizabeth, for all the kind words, good words that you have spoken to me. Hello, everyone. Hello, all the teachers. My name is Siddharth, and I'm really happy to be around you all. I have this chance today to basically share some learning, share something that can help you all. And so, welcome and thank you to everyone who have joined here to basically interact with me. So. Before I start, first of all, I would want to thank people at Firki. Those guys have been amazing, helping me so much, helping our team so much, basically, getting connected with you all. So thank you so much, and let's get started. Right? So I'll share my screen. I hope my screen is visible. So basically, my name is Siddharth, and with Abhishek, who is the co-founder, we both are creators of Ttz. And with Ttz, our whole motive is to help teachers with better evaluation tools. Because of coronavirus pandemic, how things have changed in last 1 year has been dramatic, right? Everyone have to shift to digital systems. Everybody has to shift to remote learning, and to basically make the whole system more efficient and make the whole learning process better, we basically came up with the idea of Ttz, where we want to create these evaluation tools. So, like I said, Abhishek and I both are co-founders of Ttz, and we are very happy to serve you all today in this webinar. So, like a great thing that we have, achieved with Ttz is that till now we have served over 5,000 teachers who are using the Ttz app actively, and so it is such a proud moment for us that we are able to, serve our nation builders, our teachers, and essentially, teachers were the one where we learned from, whom we learned from, but now we have got this opportunity to basically share our learnings with them. So I'm really excited and look forward to basically helping you all. So I have done some webinars before with various other teachers as well, various other organizations as well, and I'm really lucky to get all this beautiful feedback, all the appreciation that teachers have shared with me, and I hope that I present, like today also I present in such a way that it helps you all, and basically I give the maximum value. Like if since you all are connected with me for another 1 hour, I will make sure that this 1 hour basically is most valuable for you. So now, before anything, let's just basically get started with how Ttz works. So basically, Ttz works on both your laptop or mobile. So the platform is available as your mobile app as well, and on laptop as well. So essentially, there is no requirement for any teacher, for anyone to invest in additional hardware, invest in additional resources. So let's directly now jump into our whole live demo process, and I will show you step by step how Ttz works. So before I before I start my presentation, Elizabeth, can you launch the first poll? Like I have a poll for all of you, and I want to understand like a certain thing from all the teachers. So Elizabeth, can we launch the first poll, please?
Yeah, Siddharth. Yeah.
All right. Yes. The first question is, what devices are all the attendees right now, using to attend this webinar? Like let's take another 10 seconds to quickly answer this, so that I understand what kind of uh, devices that are being basically used by all of you teachers. I'm seeing a lot of responses, and that's great. Approximately 70% of the teachers are using mobile phones, and basically 30% are using laptops. So okay, all that's great. I think I've got my answer, like basically what I was trying to look at, and so we can basically stop our poll. All right, that's great. So basically, from our poll results, approximately 70% of teachers attendees here are joining by mobile, and that's great because Ttz works on mobile as well. And 30% are joining from laptop and PC, which means we'll also do a demo of that. So let's start with the demo of Ttz. So let me just share my screen from my mobile app. All right. So basically, we'll first do the demo of how Ttz works on mobile, and then we'll basically look how Ttz works on desktop, right? So on mobile, the Ttz app is present for Android phones. So basically, you guys can basically go to your Play Store I'm just opening my Play Store and I will search for Teach Easy. I will search for Teach Easy on Play Store, and here we'll get basically, the app. I've already installed the app. So basically, I am seeing like you are seeing open button in my screen. But if you go on Play Store and search for Teach Easy, you will find this app. You will find the install button there. Just click on install button and let the app install. I will take it really slow so that everyone is on the same page. I'm seeing a few chat messages where people are saying they have already installed, and that's really great. We'll take another 10-15 seconds to wait for teachers who have not installed. Please go to Play Store on your Android mobile phone and search for Teach Easy. There will be an install button that you can use, click and install the app. Once the app is installed, we'll just open the app. There are 5 languages that we have supported. These are Indian languages. So basically, I'll go ahead with English language. Now to get started with Teach Easy, you just have to enter your mobile number and authenticate your mobile number. So just like the one-time password OTP process, we will send you a OTP on your mobile phone, and then you can basically enter the OTP on the registered mobile number to get started. So I'll just enter my number here. So just remember to enter the number with your country code. So for India, the country code is +91. So I've got my OTP as a message. I've just copied it and pasted it here. And I will do done. So now we are inside the Teach Easy app. The process is very simple. Just open the app, enter the mobile number, enter your mobile number, and get an OTP. Once you receive an OTP, just enter it, and now you are within the app. So you will be able to see 3 tabs: PDF, images, and saved files, which means that Teach Easy app supports PDFs as well as images, as well as basically there's a tab for all the saved files that you have. So click on show PDFs. So basically assume that students are sharing PDFs or images with you of their homework, of their exams. Now, how would a teacher check it, right? So the Teach Easy app is basically there to make your checking work very easy. We will allow Teach Easy app to basically show you your files in the mobile phone. So basically in the PDF tab, you can see all the PDF files inside your phone that are submitted by students. In the image tab, you can basically see the images that are submitted. And the thing is that basically we show a preview of these images as well, which means that you can basically see a bigger version, a larger version of the images sent by the students. And one thing that I want to clarify is that we don't read any of your file. So all the files that are in your mobile phone that are submitted by your students are only for you to consume. Teach Easy do not read any file. We only show the list of files so that it's easier for you to basically get started. So what I'll do is basically I'll select some images, right? These are some sample images that I've clicked photo. Assume these are the images that are being sent by WhatsApp by your student, right? And I can select multiple images like you are seeing, and then I'll click the tick button or the done button. On doing that, a single file has been created inside Teach Easy for you to get started and start doing the correction. So now, before I actually show the demo again, I want all of the teachers to visualize how do they do the correction, how do they do the checking in the physical world. When schools were open, how do they basically how do you basically check all the submissions that are done by students? Teach Easy app works exactly like that. So now assume as a teacher I want to do marking. So I will enable my pen tool and I can basically annotate it just like I do it. I can underline, I can encircle things, I can put a tick, I can put across, I can use it as a pen tool, right? So it makes it really simple for a teacher to go through the assignments that students have shared, go through the exam copies that students have shared, and basically do the whole checking process, right? Now, as a student, as a teacher, I also want to add comments. I want to give feedback to my students, right? What they are doing right or what they are doing wrong. So I can write, if you see, I chose my comment tool. I will show it again. I chose the comment tool from my bottom and then I wrote a comment, right? Now I can move this comment anywhere I want. I'm just using my fingertip to move this comment and place it anywhere I want, right? So let's try this again. I will go on the comment tool. This comment window will open. I will write some comment, right? Good. And then I will click on done. Now this comment, I can place it anywhere and I can give feedback to my students, right? So this is the second tool. First tool that we discussed is the pen tool, using which you can, highlight, you can mark, you can do tick mark. Second is the comment tool where you can write and give feedback to your students. Now the third thing is, and this is the most important thing.
That I'm really sorry to interrupt. Can I ask a question? There is a question in the chat connected to this.
We can take the questions after the demo if that is fine.
Okay, yeah. It's about the pen, if the thickness of the pen can be increased or not. The pen.
All right, I'll take the questions after the chat.
Cool. Okay.
Right. And now, like the third tool that I was basically, coming to is the marks tool. Assume this is a question, assume this is an answer sheet of a student, right? And as a teacher, you want to give marks. Now there is this marks tab in the section below, and you will see this whole quick one tap marks that you can now give. So let's say I want to give 2 marks. I click on 2. Again, I can move to anywhere and I can keep giving marks, right? So the whole thing works just like you are doing pen paper checking. So I asked you a question, right? 2 minutes back, how do you do it in physical world? So basically the thing is that on mobile phone, you can basically do checking just like you are doing in a physical pen paper checking process. You can add marks, you can add comments, you can basically use pen tool to basically, do markings. And now a great thing about marks tool, and it is sort of a magical feature for all the teachers, is that while you are giving marks, you don't have to total them. So as a teacher, one of the biggest time consuming work when checking an answer sheet is totaling of the marks, right? Ttz does that for you. So all the marks that you are giving, if you see in the section below, the marks are being auto totaled. So if I add, let's say 4 marks again, see the marks have been totaled to 11.5. So this is how basically the Ttz app works. It is this simple, right? This is what Ttz app is. You can select multiple colors. So a lot of teachers don't use red pen or red ink. They can use other color, let's say blue, and do the marking. And all the comments basically, or all the marks that they choose will also come in blue or whichever color they choose. Let's say I'm adding more marks. See how simple it is, right? And as a teacher, you can save hours of work every day. Every day you can save hours of your time for checking or giving feedback to your students. Now the whole process is simpler for you. And now students also are getting this as, the output for them, the checked copy for them. So assume we have completed the checked file, checking the file. We'll just go ahead and save the file. See, the marks are now auto totaled for you. As a teacher, you don't have to really, total them. And I'll just write, let's say total marks, and I'll click done. When I click done, the file is being saved. And now in single click, you can share back the file to your students through whichever way you want. In single click, you can, share the file back. So this is how the mobile app of Ttz works. So I'll go to home. Like I was talking about the saved files, right? So what I'll do is I'll go on saved files. These are the previous files also that you are seeing. But I am going to saved files. And see, this is the file that we checked. So whatever you did as markings on the file, on the images, right? How we started was we started with images, single images, but Ttz created a single file for you and then gave you the options to, basically write, add comments, give marks, and it even auto totaled the marks for you and created a marks report. So at the end, this marks report is now generated and you can see basically the date and the total marks. So this is how the whole app works, and this is what I have to share for Ttz. So in single click, again, you can share the file with your students, and the whole process got faster and more efficient. So like Ttz app supports both images and PDFs. So if your students are sharing PDFs with you, you can use the PDF option. If the students are sharing images with you, you can choose the image option. So that is, so basically this is first part of what Ttz does for you. And I want to bring your focus to the bottom section. There is this device mode and the class mode, right? So what we have, tried till now is the device mode, right? Now, what does this class mode mean, right? And I hope it is like, simple enough to understand what class mode means. But let's see how class mode works. So in Ttz, you can even create classes and get your students to directly submit on Ttz, right? Students can directly submit on Ttz, and then as a teacher, you wouldn't have to manage the files or the submissions or the communication with the student. Everything happens directly on Ttz app, right? So I have a few classes basically created from before. I will show you basically how the class creation also works. But let's see, basically I have this class where I have submissions basically sent from my students. I will also show how student version works. But basically the whole process is in such a way that your students will join the class. So, okay, so let me go back. So this is the class that you have created. Students can join the class with the class code. You will get a class code when you create a class. So let's create a class right now, right? I clicked on this create a class option. I will write class name. So let's say Firki demo, and the subject name, let's say science, for example, right? As a teacher, I will create my class. When I do that, I will get a class code that I can share with my students again in one click. So let's say I want to share it on WhatsApp. So I will go to my WhatsApp and I will basically share my class class. When they do that, you will see two sections. There is unchecked files and there is checked files. Excuse me. So what happens is that Ttz organizes those files for you. You don't have to keep in mind which copy have you checked, which copy have you not checked, how many copies you have to check. Everything is organized by Ttz class, and you will see all the files that are sent by students, right, in one click. And basically, you can then check the files just like just like we did before, right? And then there is this assignments also that you can create for your class, and then basically assign those assignments to your students and ask them to directly submit. So yeah, so basically this is what I have to show for Ttz. Now before I open up for questions, like this is a small section that we are ending. Before I open up for questions, I will quickly share my screen again to do a quick summary, to do a quick summary of what we have learned for Ttz mobile. And then we'll open up for questions for 5 minutes. We'll understand all the feedback, all the questions that you teachers have, and then we'll address them. So we have seen this Ttz demo. So how Ttz mobile works is that the first step is just go on Play Store and search for Teach Easy. The app is just of 26 MB, so it won't take a lot of time to install. And then click on this install button. Right. When you install the app, open the app and choose the language of your preference. Now enter the mobile number to get an OTP. Right. Once you click on get OTP, you will get the OTP on your message. You will basically, get the OTP and just enter the OTP. Okay, so one screen that I missed, and because I was already registered, is that when you are signing up, basically Teach Easy will ask you your profile, whether you are a teacher or a student. If you are a teacher, you will see all the things that basically you are seeing right now. But if you are a student, there is different version which students can use to submit their assignments. And so basically you will select as a teacher and then continue. When you do that, there is option for PDFs, there is option for images, and there is the saved files option as well. Just give access to your files to Teach Easy. Again, I want to emphasize that Teach Easy does not read any of your files. We only list them so that it becomes simple for you to get started. So in PDFs tab, you will see all the PDFs that are submitted by your students. In images tab, you will see all the images that are submitted by your students. And there is a way to select multiple files. So what we saw right now in the demo is we selected multiple image files. And then we created one single file to get started. On Teach Easy, there is this pen tool which you can use to basically do markings, do underline, tick. There is comments tool which you can use to add comments and give contextual feedback to your students. And there is this marks tool where you can add marks and basically do the complete grading of, let's say, exams or quizzes. And the magical feature again that I want to bring in focus is that as a teacher, if you are giving marks, leave all the manual work to Teach Easy. Teach Easy will auto calculate the marks for you. And when you save, we will show the total marks. And on saving, on clicking on done, we will create a marks report for you at the end of the file. And this file you can share back with your students. This is the PDF file that you can share back with your students in single click. So yeah. So basically this was what Teach Easy did for you. But there is more. There is this Teach Easy class version where for teachers you can create a class. On creating a class, just enter the class name and the subject that you want to enter. You can, once you create the class, a class code will be created for you where you can share the class code with your students through any messaging platform that you are using already. So if it is WhatsApp, you can send them a WhatsApp and ask them to join as a student on Teach Easy app. For students, what do they have to do is use the link to install the app. They again have to log in by their mobile number, and on the profile, instead of teacher, they can select as a student. When they select as a student, they will get an option to join a class. On clicking the join a class, they will just have to enter the class code that teacher has shared, and then they can basically submit the files. They can submit PDFs or images just like they do it before, right? For teacher, the whole thing will be managed and organized properly in unchecked files, checked files, and you will also get all the list of students inside Teach Easy, which means no hassle of file management or student management. And then the Teach Easy app works just like it does, and the whole process is really simple. So thank you so much. Like we are just covering up the first section of what we basically covered about Teach Easy app. Elizabeth, can you launch our second poll for the teachers here?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So the second question I have for you all is, now that you have seen the Teach Easy mobile live demo, please tell me if how have you understood it? This will really help me to understand how can I basically answer the questions better, and basically cater to the audience, cater to you all teachers better. So please take another 10 seconds, another 15 seconds to answer if you have understood the mobile platform of Teach Easy. That's great. That's great. Let's stay for another 10 seconds here. Most of the teachers I see have basically understood how Teach Easy works. There are minute queries, and I'm sure there will be, and I'm there to basically answer that. But that's great. Almost everyone have understood it well. So okay, I'll end the poll now. Thank you so much. I will share the results with you all so that you guys can also see the poll results. Most of the teachers have understood but have minute queries, so that's great. So for next 5 to 7 minutes, what we can do is basically we can open up for questions, and Elizabeth, you can basically help me from the chat.
Yeah.
Whatever questions teachers have been asking, and basically I will answer them to my best of capability.
Perfect. Yeah, we have a couple of questions actually. The
Yeah.
first one, does Teach Easy support Kannada language?
Teach Easy doesn't have Kannada language right now, but we can really add it fast. So like feedback taken. Let me just write down in my feedback notes, and we can do that for teachers. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So there are a couple of repeated questions around Google Classroom and Microsoft Teams. If there is a way to integrate this with that, because they already send assignments through this.
Yes, that's a great question, and that is something that we are also trying to be better at. So the direct integration with Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams is not supported yet, but there is still a way to work with Teach Easy when you are doing work on Google Classroom. So basically what happens is that the files that students are submitting on your Google Classroom are saved in your Google Drive under Classroom folder, right? As a teacher, basically whenever you are asking for assignments, whenever students are submitting on Google Classroom, all those files basically get saved in the Google Drive folder of the teacher itself, right? So now what as a teacher you can do is go to your Google Drive, open the file that you want to correct in the okay, so let me just share my screen. I think that will be better. So we even have a article written for you how to use Teach Easy for files stored in Google Drive. So what you have to do is, first I'll cover how to do it on mobile app. Go on Google Drive and open the file that you want to grade. There will be 3 dots option on the right top that you will see, the options menu. When you click on it, basically you will find this show up on your screen, and there will be this open with. So let me zoom in a bit. I hope it's visible now. I hope it's visible better. So you can click on this open with. When Teach Easy app is installed for you, basically you will get this as an option, open with Teach Easy. And when you click on this, the file will open in Teach Easy, and then you can do the whole grading very easily. So the way to work with Google Classroom along with Teach Easy is that right now what you can do is open the file in your Google Drive, open with Teach Easy, open with Teach Easy, and then the file will open inside your app. Same goes for Microsoft Teams as well. In all the files of Microsoft Teams basically get saved in OneDrive. So what you can do is download the files from OneDrive and then open it through Teach Easy. So like the app supports files downloaded from anywhere. The app supports PDF files as well as images. So I hope I have been able to answer the questions. To add, basically the tight integration with Google Classroom and Microsoft Teams is being built right now. So very soon you will also get an option to integrate with your Google Classroom in one click, and then all the files will show up inside Teach Easy app itself. But till then, like I have shared this hack with you, I will on the chat also I will share this URL of the help article that I have written to help the teachers. Yeah.
Perfect. Can we take some more questions?
Yeah, we can take another question and then we can, go to
Okay,
the
great.
next one.
Yeah, yeah. So how can we add or include signatures and stars or any stickers? And also about the thickness of the pen, if we can address these two.
Got it. Got it. That is a good feedback. At the moment, you cannot, increase the thickness of the pen, but that is something doable. Like I can visualize how can we do that. So we'll note down your feedback and we'll basically give you a support to basically increase or decrease the thickness of the pen accordingly. So that is possible. When it comes to signature or stickers, again, that is something that is not supported. But for signatures, what I can think of is basically either you can use the pen tool to basically put down your initials, or use the comment tool to basically write signed by some teacher name. Like that is the hack right now. But for the time being, that is how we can do it. But I will write down the feedback. My team is already on a Zoom chat as well. So we'll basically write down your feedback and we'll get done the feedback points. So basically the signature tool and the thickness of the pen, plus some ways to add stickers or stars or excellent or all those things. We'll get that done.
Perfect.
All right.
So do we take questions or we continue and then take later?
Yeah, so basically now I'll basically take up the desktop demo, and then at the end we'll basically address all the questions. So all right. So I hope like the demo till now has been simple. Basically I will share this presentation also with you so that you can after this whole webinar you can basically go through the presentation, share it with other teachers, share it with your school, and basically help yourself, right? Okay, so what we basically saw is Ttz working on your mobile phone, right? But how Ttz works on your desktop, right? That is like a lot of teachers basically work on desktop. They have laptops, they have PCs. How Ttz can work on your basically laptop or PC. So what I'll do is I'll just share my screen again, and I hope my screen is visible. So to use Ttz on your desktop, open Google Chrome or any browser that you are using, and then in the URL bar, just write ttzapp.com. So when you write ttzapp.com, right, it will open up this interface for you, this website for you. This is the official website of Ttz, and basically using this website you can basically access the Android link, or you can even get started with Ttz web that works on desktop or laptop. So go to your computer, open browser Google Chrome or any browser that you're using, and then enter this URL ttzapp.com. Thank you Firki team for writing like sharing the link. Right now click on this button, use Ttz web on desktop or laptop. When you click it, a new window will open for you, which will be on web.ttzapp.com, right? So this new window will open for you, where now you can use Ttz on your laptop as well to basically submit files, right? So there are various options to import your files, upload your files on Ttz and get started. For this demo purpose, what I'll do is I'll select a file directly from my laptop, right? So I have this test file. Basically what I'll do is I'll just open this test file. When I did that, in a split second, the file will open up for you. The file will show up in front of you, and now you have all the same tools that we basically saw in mobile accessible on your left side, right? This is pen tool, this is comment tool, there is marks tool, and there is even the eraser tool, right? So one thing that basically I forgot to cover is even in mobile, if you basically did some mistake, if you basically want to remove something, there is this undo tool that you can use. Similar way, there is this eraser tool as well on your desktop. So let's just get started, right? What I'll do is I'll open the file. I'll click on pen and I can just do the markings like I was doing. Like, as a teacher, I like to encircle something, basically underline something, give feedback, mark a cross or do a tick. Pen tool exactly works like you want, right? Now, as a teacher, again, if you have to give feedback, you have to add comment, you select the comment tool and click anywhere inside the file, right? Now, I can give comment, right? Let's say good approach, right? So as a teacher, I can just write my comment and it will appear right in front of you, wherever you want to write, right? Do better. For example, right now, if you are taking homework, it becomes so simple for you to get your work done. There is again this marks tool. Again, when you select the marks tool, you will see 1 2 3 4 appearing up in front of your PDF. What I'll do is I'll click anywhere I want to give marks and I will give marks. So you'll see even decimal marks are supported, and a circle basically appears in around those marks, which gives that feeling of how teachers do a physical checking, right? Let me give another, let's say 4 marks, right, to this. Now the whole file you will be able to access, and just like how it works on mobile, the marks are being auto total. So you see the marks are being auto total, and basically once you are done correcting the whole file, you can go ahead and save the file. Just see, Ttz does all the auto totaling for you. So as a teacher, just remove the pain of totaling from your minds, right? Just keep giving the marks. Now enter the total marks and click done. When you do that, see, this total marks have appeared, right? 6.5 out of 10. This is how teachers, do the grading in the physical world as well, right? So this total marks have appeared, and then I will just go ahead and save it. If you are not logged in, basically now we'll ask you to log in. So you can log in via your Google account or through your email, or you can even use your phone number, just like the process that we saw. You can use your phone number to log in. I will use my Google account to log in to Ttz so that Ttz can authenticate and save your work. So I will just select the Ttz demo account. Right. So just in one click, your work is now getting saved, and now basically this saved work is available for you to send back to your students in whichever way you want. So if you want to basically download this checked file, click on this download checked file. The checked file will open up in the new tab, and it will show up basically just in a moment, right? See, so this is what we did, right? Now this is available in front of you, exactly the same way you basically did. There is even an option to save to your Google Drive. So if you, let's say, don't want to put all the files on your computer, there is a way to basically save the file on your Google Drive. Or if you have email IDs of your students, you can send them this checked file through Ttz in one click. Just enter their email ID and click on send, and the file will be sent to your students directly. A better way is, if you don't want to download the file, what you can do is you can copy this file URL. Just copy this file URL, and basically when you basically paste it, when you send this file URL to your student and this student opens up in their browser, this file will open up just like you have basically graded them. So this is how simple it is to use the whole Ttz platform. And yeah, so basically this is it. So I'll revise again. Basically there are all the tools that are available on the left side: pen tool, comments tool, marks tool. There is eraser. Again, if as a teacher you don't want to use red color, you can choose other colors from the color window and choose to basically do annotations using that color. Yeah, so this is what I have. Now let's say you want to import a file from other places. Like a lot of teachers were asking, how do they work with Google Classroom, right? So like I told, all the files of your Google Classroom are stored in your Google Drive, and there is a direct integration with Ttz directly integrates with your Google Drive, your OneDrive, and there is also this class option that basically I shared, right? I will cover these aspects. So let's see how Google Drive works. So when I want to choose Google Drive, it will ask which Google Drive you want to select, right? So I will select my account where all the students are submitting those files. And basically what will happen is we will show all the files that are in your Google Drive, right, to you. Again, none of the files is read by Ttz. Any file that is on your Google Drive belongs to you. We only show it for you to basically easily select it and get started, right? So what I'll do is I'll select a file that I want to choose from Google Drive, and I will open it in Ttz. So it is the same file that basically I imported, and that is why you are seeing all the annotations here. But it will open up as a new file. So basically there is an option to even clear all annotations. So you will see that basically a new file has opened, and then again using the same tools you can basically uh, do the grading of your students, give them marks, and those marks are basically auto totaled. So once you complete your work, you can go ahead and save your work. On saving the work, again you will find the options to, either download the file or save the file to your Google Drive, or send the checked file to your student via email. So just see. So basically there is this option to save to Google Drive, and the original file can be updated. So if I click on this, the original file will be updated. Else the new checked file will be saved under Ttz folder, and in one click you can save the file to your Google Drive, right? So yeah, so basically this is how Ttz works uh, for teachers to basically do the correction work on desktop. There is this class version that I will again quickly cover. So you can create new class just like we saw on mobile app, and then you can open the class. So when you open the class, the unchecked files, the checked files, your students, everything will be organized so that as a teacher you don't have to do anything. And then there is a way to invite your students. So there is this class code which you can copy and then send to your students, right? So this is how it works. Basically again, I'll just go back to my presentation to do a quick revision of how Ttz works on desktop, and then we'll again take up the questions to answer the queries better. So the first step is to basically go to your browser and type teacheasyapp.com. When you do that, you basically will come to Ttz website, where you will find this button to use Ttz web on desktop or laptop. When you click on that, a new window will open where this will appear in front of you. There is this option to directly select a file from your computer, or you can do it from your Google Drive, you can do it from your OneDrive, or you can even manage a class and ask your students to directly upload the files on Ttz, so that no hassle is required to manage students, manage their submissions. Everything happens on Ttz. When you do that, you just select a file and it opens up in Ttz, and the whole process works just like the way I told you, right? You can add, you can use pen tool to basically do markings. You can use comments to basically give comments. You can even add marks, which are basically auto totaling for you to basically do the whole checking work. Once you have completed your work, go ahead and save the work, right? Save the work, and then you will find the options to share the checked file, the output file, with your students any way you want. So yeah, so this is how desktop works. Again, to show how class feature works, basically go to the class. If you have already created the class, it will show up for you. Else you can create a new class, right? The class creation is very simple. You just have to enter the class name and subject name. When you create the class, uh, all the submissions from your students will basically appear in front of you. All the unchecked files, all the checked files, all the students, and you can even invite more students using this class code. And for students, the process remains same. They will have to download the Android app. They will enter the class code to join your class, and then as a student I can submit PDFs or images very simply, and all the files will be managed for you. So I think yes. So basically, this is where the section ends for the demo for the desktop app. I would again, want Elizabeth. Can you please launch our third poll?
Yeah, yeah.
That's great. So the third poll again is for you all. Now, how well versed are you with the desktop version? So the poll mentions mobile, but how well versed are you now with the desktop version that now we have covered the live demo of how Ttz works? All right. So we'll wait for another 5 to 10 seconds, 15 seconds, so that teachers can basically go through this question and help me understand how comfortable are they now with Ttz desktop platform. There are 4 options: I understand but have some queries, I have doubts, and I didn't understand it all. So basically, uh, again, just like mobile, I see most of the teachers have got the hang of how Ttz works, how Ttz can help them do their whole checking work. And all right, so I'll just end the poll now and I'll share the results with you all. So all right. So most of the teachers have basically understood, or they have some minute queries, which we'll now basically open up for questions, and we'll try to answer the queries. So yes, so basically this is what I have from my side to share about Ttz. We have Ttz supported on Android as well as your laptop or desktop. The iOS version will also get released very soon. So if as a teacher if you are using iPhone, you'll have to basically wait for a couple more weeks till the time you can use basically the desktop version or the laptop version to do the work. And the basically one more thing that I want to basically share is I've been saying Android phone and iOS phone, but this app works on tablets also. So if you are using an Android tablet, just go ahead, install the app on your tablet, and the app works exactly the way I basically demoed it to you. So thank you so much. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Team Firki, to give me this chance to interact with all of the teachers here. Honestly, it is uh, from our small age, from our school to now, teachers always have been teaching us, but this is like a rare opportunity for me to give back to teachers, and I'm really happy for it. So yes, so I now open up for questions, and I'm happy to help. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you so much, Siddharth. I think a lot of our teachers have been asking about this specific feature actually. So I think it's a perfect timing.
Awesome.
I think Amol sir has raised hand, so maybe we can hear directly from sir. Sir, can ask your question.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Sir, yeah, it is really helpful. But then you may take it as a suggestion or my doubt.
Yes, sir.
Now, as we fill the Google form, any data we collect, an XLS file. It goes to some Excel file, Google form and all when we fill. Means when we make it as a quiz. So
right.
Could there be in the Ttz app like that? Suppose the roll number of the child is entered at the top. I enter the roll number. I enter the name.
Right.
After that, the marks, it will directly go. Of course, you are making the work easier.
Yes.
I'm trying to make it easier and easier. If you could do this again, it will work wonders. Like the marks which are entered, the name of the child, and it will go into the Excel file, or it will be linked by some of the
Yes.
other programming. I don't know much of programming. And then
Yes.
the Excel file, the list of marks will be automatically created. And if suppose in the classroom, you also might have experience when the papers are shown, there are with queries that this part is unchecked, I have a doubt, and there are human errors from teacher side also. as you said, it is editable. So if teacher edits again and again changes the marks, so again those changes will be reflected in that list. So something like that, sir, if you will, actually it's a wonderful
Absolutely, sir.
task.
What I'll
Happy
do
for
is I'll get you on our product team. You are already sharing some great feedback, and you have already, told us a solution also. So what I'll do is I'll basically get you on our product team and get this built. So that is really good feedback. That is something that which is there in our minds also. But you basically suggested a really good way of doing it. So we take your feedback. Uh, Ability to let's say create an Excel report for all the students in your class, that is something that we can really do. We'll definitely think about it, sir, and we'll get that done.
Perfect.
That's
Thank you
that's
so
a
much.
really good.
Thank you so much, Amol sir, and thank you, Siddharth. We again have like a couple of other questions too. You might have answered this question in between, but I'm just asking this just to clarify.
Yes. Yes.
How can students send their assignments and how can they know the marks?
All right. All right. So let me just share my screen again to share how students can basically do the submission. So for students, there is this mobile app. The same mobile app, the same link is for students also. So what as students we have to do is basically install this app. As a student, I'm talking about, right? Install this app. Now open the app and enter the mobile number you want to register. When you do that, basically enter the OTP. Now Ttz will ask you whether you are a sorry, I should do it in the full screen. Yeah. Ttz will ask you whether you are a teacher or you are a student or a parent. As a student, they should select this option, student or parent account, and then continue. When they do that, basically as a student, you will get an option to join a class. They click on join a class. They will enter the class code that their teacher has shared with them. And then when they do it, they'll be able to, enter the class in one click. Now, just like they submit their files on WhatsApp, for example, they can even submit their files on Ttz, be it PDF files or the image files. And this is how exactly students will also see. They will see options for PDFs. They will see options for images. They will select multiple images and then they'll send it to student in one click. They'll send to teacher in one click. I hope I have answered the query.
Yeah. Thank you, Siddharth. We also have another teacher who wanted to ask something. Ruchi ma'am, Ruchi Gulati ma'am, you can ask your question.
All right.
Hello, everyone. Siddharth sir, one
Hello.
question. See, when
Yes.
I have corrected a paper and I have saved it on the desktop, if I want to re-edit it, if I want to edit it again, and I'm opening it through Ttz app, I'm unable to do that. Is it possible to re-edit my corrected paper?
Yes, you can. You can actually. And let me again share my screen. That is a really good question. And I should basically, have covered it. But thank you for asking this question. So now, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
So what basically on Ttz, when you log in, there is this option of saved files, right? In the navigation bar, there is this option of saved files. All the files that you basically correct appear here. So basically, you can just open the file, and this is the last file that I checked in front of you. See, right? So this is exactly the same file. What I'll do is, if I want to, do any editing, I will do some editing. If I, let's say, missed giving marks, what I'll do is I'll add marks. Let's say I add 4 marks. And what will happen is when I add more marks, those total marks go up. So now the auto opening will happen again. I will write 7 out of 10. This total marks appear there, and then I save the file. Now this new file is being saved, and this can be sent to your students just like the way we got. So the editing feature is present on I hope
So
this
you mean to say if I download that file and if I open the downloaded file from my desktop, it will not edit. But if I go to the saved
even then it
one,
will edit. Okay, so let's try that. Let's try that. Let's download this check file. I'll close the other tabs so that we are on the right tab. What I'll do is I'll download this file. See, 7 out of 10 we have given. What I'll do is I'll download with, I'm downloading in downloads folder and I'm saving it. Okay. Now I will just close this tab and I will go back to my original. Now what I'll do is, this is the downloaded file, right? This is the downloaded file that I will basically drag and drop. Just see. This is the output file, and now I can even edit the file that you basically downloaded, and now you are bringing back again. Ma'am, does this answer your question?
Can you show editing here? Because I tried, it was not editing this file. Can you edit this?
I'll edit this. Okay. So basically this file editing works exactly like the way. Let's say I want to erase. Let's say this is not 4. I want to give 4.5. I will just erase these marks. Okay. For some reason, I am not able to erase. But what I can do is I can select this marks. Okay. All right. So I think there is something that is not working.
So that
Exactly.
I don't think that is there. So opening the same file and opening the checked file is not possible.
Yes. So what I have observed is, if I am opening it, the downloaded file from my desktop, I am unable to re-edit it. But when I am opening it with the saved files through Ttz, I am able to edit it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for bringing this into notice. Honestly, I must have missed this while building it. But I'll take this as a feedback, and we'll see if we can, get this done. Thank you so much for your feedback.
Also, sir, Siddharth sir, one more thing, the select option which you are showing, if you can just help me with this also, because when I'm doing select, I am unable to scroll. I have been told by Abhishek that select, the select tool is basically to select and, drag whatever you want to. Right. So can you just show me? I am unable to do that also.
Ma'am, see, I am scrolling. So basically the select tool is enabled. And I am basically able to scroll.
No, you are able to scroll. But if suppose you have given 3 marks, but this 3 marks I want on the extreme right side or extreme left side. Okay. So can I select this 3 marks and scroll it somewhere else?
Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's say I'm giving this 2 marks here. Yeah. Right. Now I want to move this 2 marks to my extreme right. What I'll do is I'll select the tool. And I will see I have selected this mark. What I'll click and basically move it to the extreme right. See.
Excellent. Okay. That's it. Okay. So and also one more. The last question. I'm so sorry if I'm taking somebody else's time. So if what I have understood is, whatever corrections we are doing, whatever files we are opening through Ttz, all the files which we are correcting are going in Ttz cloud, right?
That's right.
Is it possible if as a school, our school permission doesn't give us permission to save any of the files in some other cloud? Is there any possibility?
Makes sense. So right now, ma'am, the ability to delete files is not there. There are 2 options. And basically, even before I cover those options, I just want to, assure this that Ttz platform is privacy first, where all the files first of all get encrypted. So we are not able to access those files. Second point is basically as a teacher, if you want to, let's say, remove those files, let's say your school says that, the file should not be saved elsewhere. What we can do is we can build a feature to give delete option. And for example, all the files that basically we are, showing up here in the saved files, what we can do is basically give an option to basically delete from here. And you can basically select multiple and then delete at once. I'll take this as the feedback.
Just to add on that, Siddharth, we have a save to Google Drive feature. So if you want to save it to your own Google Drive, you can do that instead of, let's say, downloading it or let's say saving it to our cloud.
No, to this, I would like to add, we are saving it on the Google Drive. On our Google Drive, we can save it, but still it is saving on Ttz Cloud also.
That's right.
Which
That's right.
many of the schools might not agree to this.
Sure, ma'am. Like the feedback is taken. What we can do
Especially
is
the
basically
senior classes.
Right. I totally understand this part. And data privacy is something that is really important, both for students and for teachers, right? Like not only at the school level, but at the individual level, it is really important. And so basically what we can do is basically we can give that capability to you. You can choose to basically keep the file or delete it.
True. So I would be expecting some, something from your side soon, so that we can start working on Ttz as soon as possible.
That's a great option, and like I'll be happy to do all the feedback that basically we are receiving. So with time we'll basically my team is really working hard, and we'll basically get all those things done very fast.
I would like to appreciate the calculation part, because most of the teachers really find it difficult to calculate marks either on a desktop or on a phone, because calculating marks was really difficult, and Ttz has made it very easy. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, that's great, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ruchi ma'am. Thank you, Siddharth. We still have some more questions. I think we have around 10 more minutes for the questions.
So before we take up the question,
मैम मुझे एक क्वेश्चन करना है, जैसे मैंने वो ऐप
डाउनलोड किया, can you give us 2 minutes? Siddharth was saying something.
So basically what I was saying is, because of lack of time we may not be able to address all the questions. So what I'll do is I'll share my email ID and my WhatsApp number with all the teachers here. There is even an option to reach out to me directly via WhatsApp from the mobile app. I will share the number and the WhatsApp here. Email and the WhatsApp number here. So if we are not able to address any questions, or if there are still any doubts, teachers can directly reach me, directly email me, and I'll be happy to assist.
Thank you so much. That will be helpful. Teachers, you can make a note of the email ID and the phone number. So in case if we are not able to cover all the questions here, you can reach out to Siddharth directly. Yeah, we have the email and we have the number. Perfect.
Yes. So I've shared my email ID as well as the number. All right. We can now take up more questions.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Sujata ma'am, you want to ask a question, and then Neha ma'am. Yeah. Sujata ma'am, go. Okay, Neha ma'am, you can go ahead. Then maybe we can come back to Sujata ma'am.
हेलो, अभी अनम्यूट किया मैम आपने मुझे.
Okay, no problem.
मैम जैसे ही मैंने ये ऐप डाउनलोड किया, वैसे ही मेरे सारे पीडीएफ वगैरह सब उसमें दिख रहे थे.
Right.
इससे
So ma'am, basically ये जो आपकी PDFs और जो आपकी images हैं, ये आपके मोबाइल में स्टोर्ड है. ये सिर्फ मोबाइल ऐप में आपको दिख रही है. बाकी कोई भी फाइल्स, चाहे PDF हो, चाहे इमेज हो, या जो चेक्ड फाइल हो, आपके मोबाइल में ही है, Ttz पे नहीं है.
अच्छा.
अगर आप क्लास यूज कर रहे हैं तो वो जो क्लास वाला है वो भी सारा इंक्रिप्टेड है. सो हमने सिर्फ वो लिस्ट करने के लिए दिखाया है, बाकी कोई भी फाइल हम रीड नहीं करते.
फिर थैंक यू, क्योंकि बहुत से जरूरी पीडीएफ होते हैं.
एग्जैक्टली. मतलब वो डेटा प्राइवेसी इज रियली इम्पोर्टेंट. लाइक हमारी इमेजेस होती है, हमारी पर्सनल लाइव्स होती है जो हमारी मोबाइल में सेव्ड है. तो वी हैव टेकन केयर दैट वी डू नॉट hamper or basically create any hassle in personal lives of teachers. We just want to help. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, Siddharth ma'am. Neha ma'am, go ahead.
Hello, Siddharth sir. I have been using your app since last year. I have been in contact with you many times. Time and time again, you have always helped me. There's one thing I have been facing since last week. Sometimes when I download around 30 or 40 pages at a time, and then the correction part, it gets slow. I'm putting a tick on the phone using my finger, but it drags very slowly, very, very slowly. So it's like up to 10 or 15 pages at a time. So it works very fast. More than that, it's like I have made a mistake. I have to start it all again.
Oh, that's terrible. All right. So this is something, thank you for sharing the feedback. This is something I have heard for the first time. Like I have tested, like when we basically, make the product and we test it, I have tested it for large number of files. But I'll take your feedback. What I'll do basically right after this webinar, we'll see if there is something that, is not working out well. If there is a bug, we'll try to fix it. If it is, let's say the app is getting slow, we'll try to figure out a way, make it faster. But in your case right now, what I'll suggest for the moment is that if let's say number of pages makes the app slow, for now I would suggest you to break down the submission, let's say into 2 parts or 3 parts accordingly, and then do so that the work is done faster. But this is just a hack. I will basically take care to make the app faster.
Yeah, I'll do that. And one more thing there, I cannot zoom and use the pen at the same time. Sometimes the writing is so slow and the kids, they are not able to click properly. They keep the work on the floor and clicking it. So I'm not able to zoom it and use the pen. So just kindly work on that portion too. It's really necessary. Otherwise, the app is too great.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for the appreciation, and a bigger thanks for the feedback. So all this feedback, basically keeps us down and basically, keeps us motivated to do more things. So like my team is already noting down the feedback. So we'll get those things done for you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Neha ma'am. We have also some questions in the chat box. I think we'll
Hello, Siddharth sir. Hello, Siddharth sir.
Hello, ma'am.
It's me, Surekha, a regular attendee, and I'm very proud to say that not only I'm using and I have taught to my team. They are all much comfort and they are using it very comfortably.
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much.
One thing, as Madam said earlier, we can't zoom and correct. Only that area has to be taken care of. Okay. And even I tried with Kannada and Hindi, it could do like keyboard settings, we can type the comment.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, even emojis, that picture comments also have added, and even pictures I tried with. Good, it is helpful really. But I did not try with the longer, a big amount of pages I did not try.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Siddharth.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Siddharth, there's one question around in the laptop version. So they have to select red color every time while giving marks. Is there a way to make it a default setting?
No. So I don't think teacher have to select again and again. Basically, let me show. Okay, let me just share my screen quickly. You just have to select the color once, and that color will remain default. So let's say I am just opening a file. Right. This is the demo file that I'm basically using to show the demo. Let's say I'm using green color. I selected green color and pen. Now I don't have to basically change the color again, and basically everything remains intact. So the color sustains. You don't have to change color again and again.
Perfect. Okay, I think that answered the question. Perfect. Okay. So another question, is it possible to transfer many files from the drive to Ttz together instead of one by one?
At this time, the file selection option works one by one. I would really want to understand this use case. So whosoever has asked this question, I would request that teacher to basically email me or WhatsApp me so that I can basically understand the requirement better. And single file selection versus multiple file selection should not be a problem. So it is feasible. I just want to understand the use case before I do it.
Oh, cool. There's another specific question around marking. So they're like, they don't see 0.25 marks in the list. Is it like only like whole numbers that's possible, or is it possible to add half, quarter?
So basically, right now only decimal numbers are supported. So you cannot write 1/2. Instead of writing 1/2, you have to write 0.5.
Okay, so 2.5 you can give 2.5. No need
Yes,
of giving
yes,
2 or 3.
yes. You can write 2.25. You can write 2.5 like that. That's possible.
Great, perfect. Mm. Yeah. So, what will students be able to access on joining the app? Will they be able to see each other's corrected papers? What will be
No.
their visibility?
So basically, we have taken care of that part. That we just allow students to view their submissions. But as a teacher, you can view all the submissions. But as a student, I can only see the file that I've submitted. As a student, I cannot even see other students in the class. So it is with a function. It is with a very singular function that as a student, I can submit my file. As a teacher, I can receive the homework or the exam copy. But students do not get access to other files.
Got it. Makes sense. There's also a request around the laptop version. So, can you show how the checked files and unchecked files are stored separately automatically in the desktop version?
Yep. So what I'll do is I'll again share my screen. Is it asked regarding the class version or the like normal device version? So in class, basically there is this option where you can go, and in the class, whenever you complete checking of the files, they directly move to checked files option. So see, the unchecked files tab is here, the checked files tab is here. Right now, so in class, this is basically divided well. If teachers are asking about basically, let's say from computer or Google Drive or OneDrive, we do not save your unchecked file. So we only save the files that basically you are saving, and basically we put them down in the saved files. Uh, Again, if this is something that there is a feedback around it, I would request the teacher to reach me and basically help me explain what they are trying to do, and we can get that done, because we just have to save the unchecked files also in a new tab. That can happen. Right now what we are doing is we are only saving the files that you have saved, or in the class section you can basically see the unchecked files and the checked files. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I think it's almost time, maybe like 5:14. We can take just one more question and then maybe close out. Other teachers, I know we haven't been able to answer all your questions. So please write to Siddharth or even maybe contact him directly so that we can answer all the questions.
Yes.
How can we use this app for highly crowded classes? For example, more than 80 students in a class.
So basically, if you are using, Ttz class version, there is no limit on number of students. So you can even add 100 students in one class, and that is supported. Basically, if you are using the device version, then basically for all the submissions that you are getting, you can basically, open the file and quickly do the checking and send it back to the relevant student. So there is no limit on number of students that this app supports. You can create as many classes, you can add as many students as you want.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Siddharth. There's still a lot of questions in the chat. Even I'm getting private messages also. Can we share? But then we understand the time. So dear teachers, please reach out to Siddharth directly. I know it's very useful for all our teachers. Yeah. Would you like to share your thoughts on this feedback? Like, how was it for you? What did you think about this feedback? This webinar, sorry.
I'm like I'm very happy, and I'm going through the chat. I'm seeing all the appreciation. Like this really makes me and my team happy and motivated. Like this is pure, like we have created something, and we are seeing that a lot of teachers are seeing value in it, and basically. Like how pandemic shifted the whole workflow, like how things were happening before and now how things are happening right now. Things have turned upside down, right? It is, we see it as a minimal contribution to our teachers where we are able to help them, and like that really makes us really happy and motivated. So we are going to continue doing that till the time we get all the feedback and we get all the appreciation. We are going to completely be at it, and just keep sharing all the appreciation. It means a lot to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Siddharth. Thank you so much, dear teachers. Prerna from our team has also pasted the feedback form in the chat box. So if you fill that form, you'll be getting the certificate also in your inbox. I really hope that this session was useful for you. Again, if you want to reach out to Siddharth, please reach out to him in the email ID given there. And also the phone number is given there. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope all of you have a great weekend, great evening, actually. Thank you so much. We will wait for like 2 or 3 minutes for everybody to fill the feedback.
Yeah. I've shared my email ID again, and I'm sharing my number again for all the teachers to, make a note of it. And if there is anything that I can help with, I'm really happy to do it. Me and my team are always, there for all our users.
Thank you, dear teachers. If you have filled the feedback form, you can choose to leave the session. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you to all the teachers. They are basically thanking me on the chat, and I would like to really appreciate their feedback and thank them for bearing me for 1 hour. I was continuously speaking, but I hopefully I added value in your last hour, so that's great.